What is up, all of you regs and all of you shinies? It is Jackson from the 1313 podcast here, and oh lord, am I excited to bring you the Blue Man himself, Grand Admiral Thrawn from Ahsoka. I was not expecting to get this figure as early as I did, just because everything has just been so out of whack with distribution in Hawaii. But thankfully, out of all the retailers getting it, GameStop got him first. So somebody in the Hawaii Facebook collectors group tipped me off that these were indeed at GameStop, so I rushed over immediately to get it. So if you did not see that vlog, make sure you check that out for yourself. But I'm very, very excited to talk about this figure just because Thrawn is a very big personal favorite character for me. Now, I am just going to very briefly show you his box. It's the new Black Series packaging in the standard square format with his portrait on the side. General information about the character here. He's number 12 in the Ahsoka line. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to move that out of frame here because you are here to see the Grand Admiral himself. Now, this is honestly going to be a little bit more of a detail-oriented Black Series review, just because he is a very standard character, so there is not a lot to show off with accessories and other items. But I'm going to get a very nice close-up here on that face. The likeness to Lars Mikkelsen is insane on this one. It almost looks, I'm going to go as far to say as it almost looks like Hot Toys quality, just because you're paying the $25 price point for an action figure and you get an amazing face sculpt like this. Wow. They got all of the details on his uniform correct. He's really just honestly has the white Grand Admiral Imperial uniform, a single blaster that we never really see him use in the show, but it's just there. So why wouldn't you make your character hold his blaster accessory? Got to talk about the Imperial pens here. Just look at that for how small the detail is, how nice it came out. Even just the insignia on his collar. Perfect. Now, speaking of his collar too, he does have a, if I can move it around here just a little bit for y'all, he does have a neck joint, and then his head joint is separate too. So that adds a little bit more posability for the figure. But let me put him back over here. But yeah, I think this figure just looks amazing in its detail. I mean, they did a fantastic job on getting it right. Now, I know there was a little bit of negative comments, I think, on the Hot Toys version of this later then, just because they had slimmed it down, because he didn't look exactly like how he did in Rebels, just because Lars Mikkelsen is not in his prime. But I feel like for what the action figure is, it still very much captures that likeness that, you know, he's been stranded on Peridea for so long, and now he's just finally getting off and getting back into his correct galaxy. But I'm going to throw this into a couple poses for you really quick to show you exactly what he can do. Here's kind of a personal favorite of mine. I always like to put him looking stoic or philosophical in some sense, just because that's who he really is as a character. Why shouldn't one of the most intelligent minds in the Imperial Navy also know some sort of fighting techniques? He does in the Thrawn trilogy books, so that's why I posed him in this action kicking sense here. Not only just to show that aspect off, but then to show that he also does have very, very nice one-legged articulation. His soft goods tunic here doesn't really impede leg movement at all. You can still move the thighs up, and these splits over here allow for that extra form of posability. Ooh, if I can get it back before I cut the bit here so that I don't look like a fraud. No! I'm just going to cut it right here to the next pose. And last but not least, just have him doing a blaster pose, which he does hold his blaster very well, so I do appreciate that. But yeah, as you can see, there's not a whole lot to this figure. It really is something that is more detail-oriented. If I honestly did have some sort of critique with this, it would definitely be to add maybe just another accessory or two, like a data pad wouldn't hurt to add, just because it's such a small accessory, and they've done it before for characters. because he really only has his blaster. It's just one blasterless figure away from becoming the next Morgan Elsbeth that doesn't have a choking hazard warning on the figure box because he doesn't have an accessory or something a child could choke on. But thank you so much for watching this video today. Let me know down below in the comments if you ended up getting some of your pre-orders in for this figure soon, or if you're still in limbo. And if you did pick this figure up for yourself, what did you think about it too? Personally, I honestly love it a whole lot more than the Rebels version of Thrawn, so this will probably take priority on my shelf next to those Night Troopers just because it looks so good, so fantastic. But thank you so much again, everybody, if you made it to the end of the video today. We absolutely appreciate every single watch and view and comment that we are getting. So thank you so much again for making this hobby the best that it probably could be, and we will see you in the next video. Mahalo and goodbye.